falling on the ground. Long day, but we won't back down. One thing playing on our minds. Long wait, but we won't give up now. You crave the love I gave, and we'll do it again. A cold night getting warmer now. The ground shakes as our love gets loud. We are the champions of the night. We are the champions of the night. Yeah. We are the fighting type, the ones that burn so bright. We are the champions of the night. Can't tell if we're dreaming now. We watch as the fire falls down. One thing playing on our minds. Time stops and we don't make a sound. You crave the love I gave, and we'll do it again. A cold night getting warmer now. The ground shakes as our love gets loud. Champions of the night. I'm ready to Falling on the ground, long day but we won't back down. One thing playing on our minds, long wait but we won't give up now. You crave the love I gave and we'll do it again. A cold night getting warmer now, the ground shakes as our love gets loud. We are the champions of the night. We are the champions of the night. Yeah. We are the fighting tide, the ones that burn so bright. We are the champions of the night.
everybody. 6:30 p.m. IST means it's time for your daily dose of the ESL India Premiership 2017. Now, this has been brought together by Reuben by HP, HyperX, and Zabi by BenQ. And right now, we're going to feature the 3 games we have got for you: the Best of High Clash Royale, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and Dota 2. So moving on, we have a match between Mrin Lakar and Reuben Takuna, and that's the Best of High Clash Royale. So let's know a bit about these two players. Starting with Mrin, he's from Guwahati, top player in the Indian Clash Royale scenes, won the 2016 Masters of the ESL India Premiership and attended the summer season finale but failed to make a big effect. He finished 6th in the July phase of the fall season despite winning four matches, whereas his opposition Reuben Takuna is from Mumbai. He's been playing the game since its launch, and the player began his journey in the ESL India Premiership through the Clash Royale April Challenger League, quickly climbed ranks, entered the Master League, and has managed to register podium finishes in the May and June session. But he only managed to register 3rd and 4th place finish in the summer season finale. In July session, he ended his campaign with a 4th place finish. In August phase, he looks unstoppable. He's leading the pack with 9 points from 3 games. Clean victories there in Reuben's favour. Will he be able to continue this against Mrin or not? We'll get to know that soon.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, this is another day of Clash Royale casting, and I would like to thank Vagish for hyping up this match, because I'm really hyped about this match between Mrin and our good friend Reuben.
So yeah, I think the reason you are so hyped about this is because it's Mrin's first match.
Yeah, for some reason Mrin has not been playing available to play,
at least not on stream.
Yes, finally we get to see, and what we see from Reuben almost immediately is a hog with a nice followed up behind it.
With a P.E.K.K.A? Okay, what deck is this?
It's a very interesting deck actually coming out from Reuben.
Look at that, Reuben breaking the meta right there.
Yes, meta is definitely broken right here. The bats, man, they're pretty OP. Look at the damage that they're playing very quickly. And Hog Rider pushing in, a lot of backup right behind him. A nice unit drop down there. Executioner absolutely executing everyone.
You know, I probably would have tried to activate my King Tower. That's what Mrin usually does. I don't know why he didn't try this now.
No, it was quite a big push actually. The thing is, if he would have pulled them in that direction, some of them could have gotten a few hits in. But decent trade coming out there. Mrin trying to make something happen.
Oh, that Hog Rider is going to do a lot of damage.
Ouch.
He's going to bring the tower down.
Ouch.
Oh, one more.
Ouch.
There we go.
Yeah. Sadly, Mrin losing that tower fairly quickly into the game. Now it's his job to kind of even it up and hopefully secure a win. Reuben has the P.E.K.K.A for defense.
Mm-hmm. He hasn't had to use it till now, has he?
No, he's been pushing actually very heavily. The thing is, look at the 2 cards that he has on the left and the right. Those are fairly expensive cards. He needs to get rid of them somehow because they're blocking out his rest of his tech.
Well, we are almost into double elixir time, so he will be able to use a couple of those cards.
5 seconds to double elixir. And a push coming out on the right-hand side. Also, executioner will be distracted. However, a nice lightning strike finally gets to use that. Reuben does plenty of damage actually.
But in reality, it doesn't do much because a unit that's alive and is not getting it is
Yeah.
not going to die. So this push does look... No, it does not look promising at all.
Yeah.
So I think Mrin has
that,
no idea that
miner.
Reuben still has a P.E.K.K.A in his hand.
He also doesn't have an idea. There's a little miner who's been hitting him in the back for quite some time, bringing it down to pretty low health. But Reuben has not to worry about that right now. I think if he drops another miner there, this will clear up the game. But instead chooses to go to the other side. What's on his mind? He has 15 seconds left. He should try and even up the game.
Well, he has a fireball, so he knows that he can get that down whenever he wants.
Fireball is selected. Should be coming down. Yes, it does.
Yeah, but that's just to save some face, I guess. He's not coming up that face.
Yeah, there's no comeback from this. 0 seconds. Game over. The first game going in Reuben's court, basically. Mrin able to save face, yes, as you said, as you mentioned, he was able to take one tower down. But that horde push that this guy is doing with a lot of cheap units, so he has two expensive units, that's P.E.K.K.A and the Lightning Strike, and then everything else is super cheap.
Yeah, the advantage that Reuben had is the units that he needs to cycle are also units that are really good against Mrin's primary pushers.
Yeah.
So again, there's not much Mrin could have done. Let's see if Game 2 changes anything. So
Yeah.
it might actually. Mrin is running a mirror in his deck now. That's quite rare. I don't think anybody's used that in the Premiership until now.
I don't think so also. Reuben is going to drop down an Elixir Collector almost immediately.
That's an aggressive Elixir character right there. So he's playing a 3 Musketeer based deck with the Dark Prince. Wow. That is new.
This is quite new actually. We don't get to see this much of. Bowler coming out. He seems a little surprised.
Okay, so let's see what can Mrin do to pick off Reuben's 3 Musketeers before they do much damage.
Man, I have not seen Fire Spirits in quite some time actually.
Mrin has a rocket too, and if I remember correctly, he's really good at placing the rocket. So I think he's got this covered. There we go. But he's still going to take a lot of damage onto the...
It's okay. It's he had to do it, right? That's quite an expensive card coming down on the deck there. 9 extra 3 Musketeers coming down. He managed to hold it. Yes, he did take some damage. But do you think he overspent on the defense?
He should have maybe tried to do a little more well-placed defense. He did spend less.
Yeah.
But he got too little return out of it. He's in a position right now because he has a mirror card, right?
Yeah.
It's going to make everything in his deck a little more expensive.
Yes.
So he needs to find some way to get even better trades than what he's doing now. Because we know Reuben has the Elixir character and he's playing 3 Musketeer deck, which always gets stronger when you enter double Elixir. But this is not the case for Mrin. He effectively gets very less return compared to Reuben's deck.
Yeah, and look at the
push on the right.
Yes, and talking about the rocket actually, it's a 6 Elixir rocket using to blow up 2 Musketeers out of the 3. And
that's 6 Elixir again.
Yeah, that's a 6/6 trade that he's doing. But the thing is, every time the third Musketeer always gets shot on the tower. And tower is now down to 700 health. So it's a losing battle that Mrin seems to be fighting. And I don't see how he's planning to win this game.
Me neither.
Because it's just not working out for him. And it seems like Reuben has answer to everything that Mrin is going to throw at him.
Well, I guess he still has to try some more combos, I guess. He has the minion. Okay, that was...
Decent protection rocket, but only takes the shield off for him. Of course, you can't take that. He'll take 1 damage there. His shield will block a lot of damage.
He should find some way to use the mirror for his minion mode or the barrel or something, because that's where he'll get a lot of damage from.
There's a lot of units coming towards Reuben's side. I think he could be in a troublesome situation here. And yes, it is. He loses the tower. On the counter attack, Reuben trying to close. He does not have enough time.
This is quite a turnaround right there. Mrin coming back and showing us why we call him the Golden Boy, huh?
Yes, the Golden Boy, shining bright, and quite a comeback there. We were not expecting him to.
Not at all.
Was there?
No, there wasn't. There wasn't what you were going to ask me. Oh,
What
wow.
happened actually? That's my question. What happened?
So, like I said, right? What do you say? The furnace still had quite a bit of time left on it, and it just kept pumping out the little fire spirits. And because of those fire spirits, whatever defense Reuben could muster just kept going down,
Yeah.
kept going down, kept going down, and eventually he misplaced his minions, which couldn't get to Mrin's own minions in time and defeat them. And that's it. They just got to the tower and melted it down.
Yeah, we got a
Jet
brief.
fuel does melt steel beams. The
yes.
rocket has jet fuel.
No, we saw a brief flash of
Brilliance from there.
no, the ranking there. So.
Okay.
But we'll look at them later. Let's get into the next game
And there
and
you go.
see Mrin versus Reuben. This is a nice looking map. It looks like we're on Namek. And this place is going to blow up soon because the Dragon Ball Z guys are coming down. So game 3, score 1-1.
And by soon you mean like 5-6 days later, right?
Yes.
So both the players are using a princess. Reuben's using the rocket now, while Mrin is going for a poison graveyard deck.
Nice placement on the knight there, getting a few extra shots on the mini P.E.K.K.A. before it reaches the knight. Defensive building coming out of Mrin. Counter attack by Reuben. Will they attack the tower? Yes, they do.
Yes, Mrin does manage to activate his king tower. So
Reuben's double the firepower for him. Pretty much.
I don't know how good that will be though, because look at Reuben's deck. It's a chip damage deck, right? He's gonna use the rocket, he's gonna use the log, he's gonna use the princess to bring down the tides. The king tower damage isn't really something that will help him, but it's certainly a really good thing to have activated.
Yeah, and pretty much everything is going to be out of the range there. And poison graveyard coming out, a nice combo there. But however, the skeletons were not able to get any or at all hits on that. But they did take down princess, so that's a good trade coming in his favor. So the graveyard cleared out that princess for him.
So every time I see a princess being killed by a log, it just creates this gnarly, ghastly image in my mind. One lone woman just standing there with a bow and arrow, and here comes a huge log. Splat.
Screw you, log.
And then the worst part is it's not blood, it's purple liquid.
Yeah.
Like a balloon.
Yes. Another pull in towards the tower. Was that worth it?
Well, he did have to cycle, so I guess yes.
Princesses targeting each other. I think they'll both cancel each other out, and yes, they do.
Whom?
Purple Cloud.
Double elixir. So,
yes.
Who do you think has the upper hand now? The Reuben's chip damage deck or Mrin's poison graveyard?
I'm a little worried for Mrin here. Reuben has like Inferno Tower here to defend. He has a log and a knight to defend against the graveyard. But I don't see him getting opportunity to use his rockets. It's going to be a difficult situation. And Mrin always seems to be ready to counter that battle at all times. So unless those rockets really come into the play, which they're not, because it's still quite an expensive transaction. But finally the rockets coming out. You see Graveyard going down offensively. Poison also following up with that. Poison will kill the queen. Princess immediately. Knight taking some damage, but and look at that. Few skeletons able to get few hits off on the tower.
Oh, wow. So there was so much fight going on for so long at that left the tower, but so little damage onto the tower.
Yes.
So we are definitely heading into overtime here, sudden death. And what does it look like? I think Mrin has the advantage right here because he's pushing slowly further and further in. Once he reaches the tower,
yeah, and look at the poison placement there, hitting everything he needed to hit. Princess.
Another rocket coming out from Reuben, bringing the tower out to 9-11.
Yeah.
Never forget.
The question is now, can he keep cycling the rocket? He needs to rocket it twice now and close the game. Is he going to try throwing the barrel and log?
Now we do see quite a big push coming in from Mrin.
Yeah, Reuben could be in a lot of trouble. See, the thing is that throwing that rocket is quite an expensive transaction, as I said, which gives Mrin a chance to make a...
Yeah, you will certainly hit a point where you just can't do it anymore because you're busy defending, like right now.
Yeah.
624 health left on the tower. But
I think
again, Reuben has a rocket ready. He's pushing it out. One more rocket and the tower will go down.
Yeah.
322, so some more Dota 2 references right there. So Mrin, will Mrin be able to... He should just ignore the princess on the right because That's what he should do. He needs to concentrate on bringing down that 484 HP. He uses the poison.
Yeah,
He
but
has
the
already
rocket-
used the graveyard,
rocket
but
is
here comes
back.
the rocket, and Reuben takes game number 3.
So effectively using the double elixir time there to drop rockets. He dropped 4 rockets in total.
75% of the tower's HP just went down after double elixir hit.
Yes. So Reuben, man, quite making.
This is quite an exciting matchup, man. We should have Mrin play on the stream more often.
Yes.
That was 1-2. We are finally going into game 4 after such a long while.
Yeah, it seems ages since we've gone into game 4. But before we get into game 4, but we don't get a chance to get into game 4.
Yeah, it's okay. Look at that. It's a laser dragon. It's an ice wizard. It's a lava hound.
I just love the fact how the decks are changing so like it's a colorful location here.
I love the fact that finally the Masters boys are listening to me, bringing us some more variety in life, giving me a reason to wake up in the morning.
Now, is he gonna drop the lightning strike?
Oh, definitely. He's first going to drop the minions though. And now down comes the lightning.
Yeah, he's waiting for the units to come into the range. My god, he melted him almost instantly. Look at that damage.
So for some reason he chose to wait on the lightning and use a different card first, but why though?
He wanted to effectively use the lightning. He wanted another unit to be on the floor so he can hit 3 of them together.
Crossbow coming out from Mrin, so a laser dragon coming out from Reuben too.
I just love the fact everyone's just carrying lasers around.
Dude, these Inferno dragons, right? Like, I'm trying to use them in my deck, but I just suck too hard, man.
Yeah, I can't use them.
Okay.
Good defense both sides. Still holding on to a lot of their majority of their health.
We're just entering half.
I think this is going to be a slow game. Looking at the units.
It is.
Especially these slow-moving units. But I'm quite interested in seeing Reuben finish the game with the lava loon.
Reuben has a lava hound, he has a balloon, and he has an Inferno dragon. That is...
This Expo is going to go crazy, dude. This Expo is going to do a lot of damage because it's
that tower's going down, man. That crossbow is bringing the tower down. There's no two ways around it. Fireball.
Laser targeting the right unit. You really need to take the lava loon down. Does not get a hit off. And guess what? This guy is in trouble also. Look at the health just disappearing so quickly. Well played. Just had the right kind of units to hold that push off. And I think the next
I see a 2-2 equalizer coming in. Do you?
That depends where this Expo is going to shoot at. Right? Oh, that log could have been better placed.
Yeah, that tower is going down. 300, 200, 40. Okay.
But he has a fireball. If you want to close it,
now I think Mrin is going to switch his strategy to just defending because he has the log and the fireball to take just 40 HP. What do you say? But no, he wants to go on the offensive.
Should be distracted by the Expo now. Expo targeting whatever it wants to target. Lava Hound is going straight. No, it finally just the moment I said, he's like, oh no,
not you.
Now he just needs to defend and look at the slow, so much slow.
10 seconds left. I don't think that's enough time for the lava loon push to do anything.
And 2-2 is the score.
Equalizer, game 5.
Yes.
Yay! Thank you, Mrin and
if game
Reuben.
4 was hard enough to get by, game 5 is pretty much impossible.
This is rare, man.
Yes. Now let's talk about
our best friends in the entire world. We have our title sponsor, which is Omen by HP. We also have Zoe by BenQ and HyperX, who help us here at Northern Gaming bring the ESL India Premiership live to you every day at 6:30.
Yes, and it's all organized by the good folks at Northern Gaming, which is us.
I've already mentioned us, yay! Self-dabba.
Yeah. Looking at the standing, and Reuben is doing great so far. A lot of matches still pending.
Yeah, that might just change his unbeaten record might just break today.
Yeah, as mentioned earlier, Mrin had not played a lot of matches, but now we can see this new standing shows us the fact that he has played a lot of matches already, 2 of them to be exact. This is
just not on stream.
Yes, not on stream. So he's won 1, lost 1, and that's pretty much his score right now. And this last game that we're about to get into now will show us if Mrin can get higher in this ranking chart. And if Reuben's unbeatable streak can be stopped, Reuben actually showing a lot of courage there. He's doing a lot of changes to his deck. Every round, it's a different deck.
And it's so much fun to watch, guys. Just keep doing this.
Yeah.
Don't go back to what Hasib did in season 1.
Yeah. Hasif still went around and did the same thing, by the way, in like what August season that we're in. So we're already like 4 or 5 months into this, and Hasif still decides to like, let me try that one more time. Maybe the nerfs aren't good enough.
Okay, so heading
Same
into
decks.
game 5 right here.
Same decks.
Same decks.
Yes.
Same decks.
Yes, there are same decks, and Reuben feels like he could do better with this deck this time. And Mrin seems like he was expecting the same thing, so he's keeping all the same units. The Inferno Dragon is gonna do a lot of damage. It absolutely nullifies this push actually, but the Noon getting a free pass into the base, and the laser Inferno Dragon is completely distracted by random things in this world.
No, it did get one hit off on the tower,
Look at
and
the
the
damage.
bomb is going to do quite a bit of damage.
Yes.
Ooh, okay, so I really do not agree with the usage of lightning there, because arrows would have been a much better use, because sure they wouldn't have died, but they will only have like bits of HP left, and the tower would take care of it.
Inferno.
Dragon versus dragon, and the crossbow is
Did he
just happy whacking away at the tower.
He actually retargeted.
Yeah, he froze for a second. He used the ice spirit.
Okay. I didn't see the ice spirit. I was like, what happened? But Expo, my god, look at the damage.
309. Mrin's Expo finds its true target for now.
Yes.
So I'm sure he's just going to chip the tower down a little more with the log, and he's going to keep it aside. Like one fireball is going to finish it. Now
How much damage is we're looking at with the fireball? 249?
Yeah,
249. And the reason why I have it in my heart is because I lost the game with 1 HP left on the tower.
wow.
This balloon should make a quick work of that tower. And
Frozen.
Again, that ice spirit coming out, the clutch ice spirit, which I always fail to see because the balloon actually just covers up on everything.
So like I said, just Mrin seems to be telepathically linked to me.
Yeah.
From yesterday.
Yes. Here we go, units clumped up together nicely. A nice lightning strike coming out, but does reset the charge there. But the rest of the unit able to hold off that attack by themselves. So Balloon was not able to get into them. Balloon dropped in the opposite direction now. And he's getting free rein there. And he has no units to stop the
He might
first.
just get one hit off on the
he'll
tower.
get one hit.
No, he doesn't.
Inferno Dragon doing quite a job at cleaning that out very quickly. So
So
many units on the floor for the Expo to clean up before he can actually target what he wants to target.
the tower's going down, the baby dragon.
And 15 seconds left on the clock. I think this is GG.
You know, I like the fact that even Reuben switched sides like predicted Mrin would switch sides, and he also did, but his deck is not one where you split the damage, right? He split the damage and look what happened.
So it did not work for him, and Mrin getting that win, the much needed win, and Reuben finally getting first loss. This is sad. Look, he's already looking very sad on the video. He's like, I'm not happy.
And look at Mrin right there. Yay, I won on stream.
Mrin is always
Look at that baby face, man.
Yeah. Isn't he like 30?
I don't know.
No, I'm kidding. He's like 27.
Them jeans.
Yes. Yeah, he definitely doesn't look his age. Yeah. That's for sure. We had the privilege of meeting him at the event a couple of times actually. So 3-2. Finally, we got to see the game 5. Mrin playing really well. Bad luck for Reuben. He is still number 1, I think, at the end of it.
He still should be.
Yes.
But Mrin has climbed up the ladder now, I guess. If it's so, I guess that's it for today.
Yeah, we're running out of time, and finally, we finally filled out that segment time.
Finally, it's 5 games, 5 exciting games, good gameplay, different cards, different decks. This is what I want every day to be.
Yes. We have quite an exciting Counter-Strike match coming up next. After that, it's a Dota 2 match. So enjoy those matches. This is me, Gautam Workaholic Virk, alongside with Manoj Super Cola. And we're calling it a night from Clash Royale casting. Enjoy some Counter-Strike action, which is coming up now.
Bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a combo breaker of sorts because Reuben has been shown the dirt. Mrin Lakar 3-2, the final scoreline in his favor, ruins a clean sheet victory for Reuben Takuna. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you again on whichever platform you're seeing us, either the Facebook page of ESL India or the YouTube gaming channel of ESL India. This has been brought together by Omen by HP, HyperX, and Zavi by BenQ. And moving on, we have a CSGO match in the offing, so let's quickly take a look at both the teams here. Alright, SemperX versus Team Scorchers here. Now, talking about SemperX, some of the top Indian CSGO teams. They have bottom players Swapnil, Marklon Mahajan, Bastar Dave, and Akshay Kappa Sinkar. And in fact, their former player Hunter has gone off to play for Entity Esports, in fact. And two of the other players they had fielded, Mithil and Krish, have moved on to Team Scorchers, who are going to be their opposition here. And they are again one of the teams opting for a name change during the transfer window period because they were earlier known as Team Wolf. And their main player Ritz has now taken a sabbatical. And now they finished 5th in the July phase of the fall season, and they sit in the 4th place. And a win today will be enabling them to climb up the ladder of the rankings here. Will Scorchers prevail or will not? We will get to that soon.
Make the ground shake. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back all to another day. It's the middle of the week. Is it a Wednesday today? I believe it is a Wednesday today. I'm starting to forget the days of the week as the days go past. You know, all of us are fearing nuclear Armageddon between North Korea and the United States of America. But then again, those are other things. That's world politics. Who cares about that? We care about Counter-Strike, and it's going to be a fast play towards A coming in from SemperX. Foxy leading the way. They're making a lot of noise barreling up here, and Krish is pushed out somehow, and he's going to be able to team up with Monster. Monster holding the line. Krish should be able to figure out that there's no one here, and this is just complete chaos. They're wrapping around each other. What is even going on? What is going on? I don't even. And Impale with the C4 all by his lonesome, the 3 CTs around him. They're going around in circles as Buster is going to get a kill on the Krish. That's a great opening kill. It's going to keep the CTs at bay over at the A bomb site. But meanwhile, over the drop, presence being felt by Mrin, who's going to be playing a little bit more safe. USB in hand, tapping away, not able to get the shot right, not able to land the headshots. Monster is there to trade, though. He's going to get the kill. 2 more players. Monster should be careful. He's going to get caught at reloading, but he will survive. And Foxy's got a lot of work to do. He is getting hunted down. That Glock of his, he spots at least 2 players. He's taking the fight with the Mittel, who is so very low. And Foxy, all he has to do is just stay alive. And he actually even gets another kill. The bomb's going to get planted, looking for more. The Glock's going to come into play. Picks up 2 kills as Impale finds Monster. And that was complete, utter chaos. But somehow SemperX coming out on top. I don't even know what happened there. That was just madness. Just complete, utter madness. Scorchers playing with Afro Ninja instead of DNM. So with the force spike coming out from Scorchers, Mrin, Afro Ninja, Mittel, Krish as SemperX are gathering up for this B push. Monsters holding the line. 5-7 in hand, beautiful for Afro Ninja. They've got Mittel as well. The CZ right outside of drop. No one to drop at the moment. As a play is coming in. Fox is going to lead the way with an AK-47 of his. He's got backup as well in the form of Impale. He's got a P90. Yowza. See that gun around that often anymore. Afro Ninja. Feeling adventurous. Waiting right outside of smoke. P250 in hand. This is a pretty decent crossfire. If Monster doesn't, oh no, they're gonna leave. They're gonna leave him alone. He's gonna be taken down. Impale opening things up. P90 more 4 points of health, but taking a little bit of damage as you see the C4 immediately falling back. Impale by P90 is running and spraying. It runs out of bullets. I don't even run out of bullets from P90. I don't even. But Kappa holding that with the Mac 10. He's gonna find 2. He's probably looking for more as well. Just keeping the CTs at bay as the bomb is going to get planted. Spots that monster, finds another one. It's so much money in the bank. Mrin left alone with the Desert Eagle in a 1v4. Looking at Kappa, who is very low indeed, and Mrin's going to be taking up a Kappa from behind, and that is going to be the round going the way of SemperX, keeping 4 players alive and 4 kills for Kappa with the Mac 10. That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Fun times. Fun times. Turn up the volume. I don't control it, so you have to spam ESL India in the chat. They will be taking care of the volume and production. So, production, if you could just increase the volume a little bit for the game, like it is kind of muted. At least that's what I can gather from chat. In the meantime, Foxy catching Mythil, and look at where Forsaken is. He's going to get the free kill here. Mac 10 just running and gunning. Spots out a second guy as well. Runs out of bullets. Monster's going to get the kill with a Mac 10. A little bit of damage being dealt out by Scorchers here. Monster has a lot of work to do. 32 points of health. He needs help very quickly. That Buster is going to find Monster. Afro Ninja just left alone. Buster is waiting around the corner for Afro Ninja. Feel a little adventurous with Afro Ninja. What can he do? The P2 hand looking for an exit. Spots out Impale, but Impale's going to win the deal. Of course he is, because, well, P2K gets AK-47. Never going to work. I'm actually trying to reach out to the production crew. They are operating remotely from the ESL office in Delhi, so hopefully that's going to get sorted out. It looks like there's a little bit of technical issues from production side, so hopefully that's sorted out really quickly. I do apologize on behalf of the entire crew. But for now, game will still continue 3-0 to SemperX Scorchers. Meanwhile, the line have M4s, but the utility is kind of sparse. All the Mrin and Afro Ninja have incendiaries to work with. Foxy, in the meantime, drop. So he can looking for Monster to peek out wide. He is very, very patient. Not taking shots. Flashbang's going to come out, going to completely blind it. Falling back to safety. In the meantime, Buster. Ooh, the timing of the flash wasn't that great. He's still going to push in through the smoke. Or is he? Well, he is indeed. Kappa's actually going to push in. Gets the kill. Spots on Mythil as well. Trying to go over the pre-fires at the edge of the APC. And Mythil's going to need some help here. He's going to go for the spray. Wins the duel. Needs backup real quickly. Mrin's there as well. But Incendiary's going to push him out. But he's out in the open. Takes the fight. Looking for more flashbang to enable him some time to recover and get the reload down. Things are looking a little rough here. It's Forsaken and Buster, but both of them have help to work with, but time is not their friend. Buster slowly sneaking up. Forsaken's going to find Mythil. Buster's going to spot out Mrin, and they need to get the bomb down now. 6 seconds. Bomb's going to get planted. Afro Ninja and Monster, they haven't smoked off and Molotoved off, and now they got to go for the retake. Monster immediately pushing up here. Buster's going to get spotted, but information has been conveyed by his teammate. Forsaken just holding the line. They need to cross on over to him, and they have the flashbang in the hands of Afro Ninja. He's got to use it, but he's not going to use it right. Forsaken actually does get blinded, but he does manage to get the kill. In the meantime, survives at 1 HP. A celebratory little jiggle there, and that is going to be the round. Going the way of SemperX. 2 versus 4. Somehow getting converted, as we do have a little bit of technical issues on production side. They're just going to sort out the audio for you guys. See how things work out. One of the top 5 players from India, in my opinion. What is this? An AMA? Ask me anything. But all right, let's go for it. It's been a while since I've done not for a while, but let's see here. My favorite top 5 team players in that'll be interesting. I think Sai, Marshall, Marzil, as most people call him. We call him Marshall because his nickname was Marshall a long time back. Ace, A-Star, and I'll say Hellranger, just because even though he's not a star player, the fact that he manages to somehow get any 5 players and someone manages to make it work, I think is very, very commendable. Kappa caught in a rough spot, but if someone survives, should get the kill here. Finds Mrin. Eco frags for days. Monster and Afro Ninja. Monster playing towards Rock. A lot of angles to check Afro Ninja inside a chicken coop. And I like what SemperX are doing. Very methodical. Very lucky to be alive, but Impale is going to nade him into oblivion. Monster does get a kill, but Impale will impale him in the head with a headshot, and there you have it. Very, very clinical normal SemperX, and I like how they're going about things. Very tactical, not wasting any time with the, you know, I mean, not just pushing in, just playing it safe and calm and collected. And 5-0 for them. Solid start for SemperX. Still early days though. Krish with the AWP. Yet to get off the mark. He's not gonna find anyone. Heavy presence towards the Impale's gonna be leading the charge like a madman, just charging out in the open, but Monster is there to greet him with open and waiting arms. After Ninja taking the fight. Great shot there. Monster's gonna get a frag for himself as well earlier on, but Monster's gonna get the quick trade. Monster still playing around. Free kill for him for a second. Not checking the angle. Monster going for more. Looking for the quad kill. And Monster just completely, almost single-handedly shutting down the B play all by his lonesome. SemperX getting kind of stuck. Towards the plateau. Not able to get out. Looked like a full-on blitzkrieg towards the B bomb side, but they just got completely shut down without getting anything done. And for Scorchers, just 1 casualty. They should be happy with that. In the meantime, SemperX though should only be able to go for another very comfortable buy. Pale, Foxy. As we do see Krish holding the line. Really spotting anyone out. And the play is going to be coming in towards a Mythal, holding the line. Here's a flashbang go off, incendiary in hand, ready to stop any fast play from SemperX, but they have the 2 CTs here. Krish looking towards long. Mythal, this is a very rough spot for Mythal because he can easily get flanked. He can easily get pincered. SemperX taking a sweet time, making a bit of noise, keeping Scorchers second guessing. That's a really nice flashbang, by the way. Foxy making a bit of noise. Impale as well, tossing in a flashbang, keeping these players over at B occupied, as it is going to be an A hit coming out. And Krish and Mythal are going to be seeing a lot of action real quickly. 5 players gathering up for this inevitable hit at the A bomb site. Flash is raining out. Krish will be blinded. He's going to rattle off a shot. It's stuck next to the tire. Mythal, though, immediately replies back with the A. Finds 2 quick kills. And now it's up to Krish to do the remainder of the work. He's going to drop down, but Mrin's going to get the kill. And the Flames are going to force him out from his position. However, 13 seconds. They got to get the bomb down. For Impale's going to get a frag onto Afro Ninja. There's still a guy on the bomb side. There's going to be Mrin who's going to prevent the plan from taking place. 1 guy stays alive. Impale is going to get hunted down, and Monster's going to end him before he gets anything done. Second round on board for Scorchers as they get to round number 2. What are your thoughts on this, Archie?
I mean, it's cobblestone play. One of the most stagnant maps to watch on the CT side because there's not much the CTs can do. They just have to hold angles and pray to God that the enemy just walks into their crosshairs. And that's more or less exactly what happened. I mean, Mythil getting that double kill over towards Stable, I mean, one flashbang, that's all it takes to nullify that position. And unfortunately, that didn't come in and Mythil just had a field day. And now it's, I think it's the last buy coming out from SemperX before their money completely gets depleted. Yeah, pretty much. So they have to make this round count because otherwise it's Scorchers just looking to tie up the score. At least on the precipice of tying up the score. So they really need to pull up their socks and try something different. They've gone for the vanilla B execute, been completely shut down. Then they went for the vanilla A execute and they were completely shut down. The thing is, what teams have to realize is that, and I can see the Forsaken style of Counter-Strike being adopted by SemperX, is that they rely too heavily on the vanilla executes, the smoke executes, then your late executes. In fact, against a team like Scorchers, the old SemperX, the YOLO style of play was much more rewarding in my opinion, and would see much better results than just holding till the 30th second and then bursting onto a bomb site. You don't have players like Zeus has at his disposal to be able to pull it off.
I'm just gonna take your word for it. You have casted way more in Counter-Strike than I have in the recent past few months. But here comes the play towards the B bomb site. Metal throwing the line. They still have Monster who hasn't been spotted out in the Hobbit hole. Are they gonna check? No, they're not. No, they're not. Monster. How is he allowed to get 3 kills? How is he allowed to get 3 kills? I don't even. 20 bullets. 20 bullets, Archie.
Yeah, well, what do you do, right? No one checks Hobbit hole. That's one of the things I've learned by watching Indian pros play. Is that's the one position I always play when I'm playing Cobblestone or matchmaking on Source or even Valve MM. I'm always in Hobbit hole. 2 kills easy, always. You can play that position every round of your side and no one will check it even. It's not a one and done spot as it is usually in Counter-Strike.
I mean, it should.
Should be, but I mean, that's the thing, right? Shoulda, woulda, coulda, as we keep saying. It's one of those things. Fast play out onto the B bomb side. Monster picks up 1. Oh, actually, Afro's gonna miss a very simple shot. A harder shot. Get shit on. Okay, so that happened. So at least SemperX will get the bomb down, which will give them $800 extra in the next round, which means a very good buy. And they have an op to play with. So Scorchers. Foxy and Forsaken are just going to work. Krish does get the kill onto Kappa. That's the op taken out of the hand. The team just Forsaken has other ideas. And Forsaken reliving his glory days, reliving the old form, the old Forsaken that we've come to love and fear at the same time.
Just got E-code. That's all I'm going to take away from that round. They just got E-code. Did you like, I don't know, like inject some adrenaline? Like you're full of energy today. And I sound like I'm dying internally. Life is hard. And then you die. Well, actually, life's something else. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to be a little bit more genteel in my language. This is a nice word, genteel. Not use that all. In the meantime, Monster wrapping up bullets through the smoke. Not gonna find anyone. Bear in mind, money is precarious for both the sides right now. Whichever team wins this round, wins the lottery, they're gonna have 2 anti-ecos, or at the very least 1 anti-eco following this, whichever team wins this round. Monster, be very careful. He's got back up in the form of Afro Ninja again and Hobbit hole. I mean, if they don't check it this time around, I'm just gonna tilt off the face of the planet, to be very honest. Smokes are gonna be raining in. Smokes are pouring in. There's a gap in the smoke. However, Monster, the way they almost lined up for him, and Monster goes like 2 firing. They still don't check, but he will only find 1 this time around. And like a madman, just walking in through the smoke like an invisible god. Mitchell is still going to get 2 kills. I don't even how. And Krish still towards the drop zone next to the E-box. He's got the M4. He can work with this. They have a little bit of time as well because the bomb is yet not planted and 35 seconds on the clock. Question is, can Buster spot out that barrel of that M4? I'm going to peek out wide though. He's playing it very safe. Gotta go for a play. Bomb will get planted. Krish is gonna be walking in. And a flashbang is almost perfect. He almost gets a kill. He did spot out the barrel, by the way. I had an inkling that he spotted the barrel. He's trying to be sneaky, but Forsaken very much ready and waiting. Picks up another kill. 7 rounds for SemperX, and Scorchers' money is once again in the dumpster, Archie. They are as broke as you are.
Well, I just paid the deposit in our new house for our new house, bless. So yeah, I am as broke as they come. Yeah, we're moving in together. We're gonna be roomies! Oh my god. We're gonna be roommate. Anywho, yeah, that round, I mean, it was make or break for Scorchers, but unfortunately, well, they got broken. And now SemperX have an open playing field to extend that lead even further. Frankly speaking, they need to do as much damage as they can in terms of the round lead as possible, as long as they're on the T side. Because the moment they switch over, SemperX have been struggling recently on their CT sides. Actually, every team in India has been struggling recently on their CT side. Apart from brutality, every once in a while they just, channel their inner VP or, SK and just be godlike on their CT sides. But usually, most teams are quite abysmal. I really like this flash for Forsaken. So Forsaken's one of those players who takes the time to practice each and every pop flash for each and every match. And it really shows. And what? Manan, you shouldn't be allowed to do that. Instant facial reconstruction surgery there on Foxy, and he'll be feeling it for quite a while. Matters and Forsaken and Buster are just going to be a 2-man wrecking crew, mow down the rest of the team. But still, decent amount of economic damage done onto SemperX. That'll keep their money a little bit more honest than otherwise, and not being allowed to run away with it. So, yeah, that. But still, see, the problem with the CT side economy, as I keep pointing out day after day, round after round, is that if you insist on forcing up or even upgrading pistols, you're going to suffer on the utility front. And on a map like Cobblestone, utility is your best friend. So there are certain maps, Train, Cobble, Overpass. Actually, any map on the CT side, utility is your best friend. And that's the thing. Impale took so much damage just already making his way down. Okay, sorry. Didn't stop. He just YOLO'd his way through that Molotov, but should have. There's Afro Ninja. Gets one easy kill. Pushing the barrel, but then does the exact opposite. Counter-strike peeks out while reloading, but that doesn't matter. Trades coming in back and forth, and all of a sudden it's down to a 2v2 because Forsaken will have something to say about killing his teammates. He always does. Team player to the core.
2v2. No one budging right now from the bomb site, and Munnen's got to go for the spray. Finds Buster living all on Forsaken here. 1v2 is going to get the first kill, but not ready for Munnen to go for the quick trade, and that is going to be Scorchers getting to round number 4. Still, here's the thing, right? Like, I mean, if the meta is such a way right now, I was doing the math, and I think about almost 60% of rounds are won on the CD side now on Cobblestone International. Look at most of the international land events. But if you look at Asia right now, or actually even in Asia, it's kind of evolved a bit. Teams are opting to start the CD side to win the knife round, for example. But in India, for some weird reason, people still love the T side more, and the T's win way more rounds on a map like Cobblestone, which just like, it feels like we're months, if not years, behind the meta. And you gotta ask yourselves at one point, like, when are we gonna catch up? And honestly, I have no idea. You can see Archie sitting next to me, just shrugging his shoulders. Depression as Fish gonna get the first kill. He's there to go for the trade, but Monster's gonna destroy him, and they're just walking in one by one for a second. He's gonna be leading the way this time around. It's gonna make it to work with flashbangs pouring out. If he just peeks out, he could get 2-3 kills. They're gonna be looking the wrong way. Krish is gonna get the frag. Buster does reply back real quickly. Krish staying alive at the edge of the flames, and Buster picks up a double kill. Afro Ninja replies back, leaving it all on Mr. Foxy. Mr. Reynard. And the nade just gonna sail straight into his face, and a bullet to follow up as well. That is gonna be the round done and dusted. 5 rounds for Scorchers. SemperX, though, they should be pretty happy with the way things have panned out. Nade and a Molly combo towards drop. Not going to find anyone. Foxy. Pistols and armor. Foxy. Okay. Winning a duel that I really didn't think he'd win. Takes out Monster. Shot in the head. He's going to fall back to safety as well. Krish Still alive. Drop. AK in hand. Already. Looking a little rough here while SemperX is slowly sneaking the way towards A. Just one man holding the line. It is Mythil with an M4A1 of his. And he's going to sail it. Oh, that's going to take a chunk out. Oh, that's got to hurt. That is such a perfect nade. A more perfect nade I have not seen in a long time. Mythil's going to get the first kill. So much damage inflicted. A beautiful tap to the head. Finds another one. Looking for the fourth kill. But Impale will finally take him down. But Krish is there to avenge his teammate. Great work from Mythil. They're picking up picking up 3 kills. And then Nate especially doing so much damage. The timing on that was just beyond perfect. 6 rounds for Scorchers as they look to at least get to round number 7. See Krish already taking a chunk of damage. 15 points fell is all he has to work with as he falls back to safety. Mythil will get himself a free kill. Impale being a little bit too impatient, he's jumping in through the flames. Now, there are 2 guys over at A. Would have expected SemperX to start pressurizing towards B a tad bit faster. Taking the time, using the Molotovs. A nice counter flash here. I'm a little surprised that it took so long for them to react. Maybe thinking it was a smoke. Afro Ninja buys Lonesome, now bolted by Krish with the AWP towards Rock and Afro Ninja. I think he got spotted out. I think Buster spotted his head there while he was trying to jump over the smoke. Foxy is going to try to get the bomb down. Afro Ninja gets taken up by Kappa from behind. They're getting destroyed at Kappa with the Tech 9 up close. 1 bullet all he had to work with, and he still manages to land it. Monster does reply back, and Kappa is all alone in a 1v2. The bomb isn't even planted for him. There's nothing he can do, as Mythil is going to end him, and that is going to be the round. 7th round for Scorchers. What looked pretty rough, to be honest, for Scorchers initially. It was 8-3, but managing to string 4 rounds in a row there, and Monster especially 20 frags for him, living up to his name. Beast. Interesting. Scorch is a lot of utility to work with, as Krish is going to get the opening kill over at Long. Finding Impale. They are pressurizing this B bomb site. 3 players still there though. Foxy getting blinded by his own teammate's flashbang. The USP at this range is deadly indeed. He's looking for the fight. Finds Monster, looking for more. Gets another one. Looking for the 3rd kill. Will have to reload. 12 bullets remaining in the clip. 7 in reserve. Still tapping away. Still staying alive. Doing so much damage. Picking up the 3rd kill. Looking for the 4th as well. 7 bullets remaining to work with. It is still holding the line. Foxy is like a single... Like, he's just a 1-man army over in Plateau. And now Kappa jumping in to help his teammate out. As the last 2 players of Scorchers will be making the way towards the A bomb side, where there is still a man waiting. It is Forsaken with that USP of his. Holding the line. Right angle. As Krish and Afro Ninja slowly making the way. They spot out. Forsaken is going to fall by, calling for backup real quickly. He knows there's at least 1 player there. Hold the tight line. 1 tap to finish off Krish. Dancing with Afro Ninja, and he's going to get the kill. And that is going to be the round going the way of SemperX. Saved pretty much single-handedly by Foxy. Just stellar display of aim over at B Long. I've always felt this about the players in SemperX. Such explosive players. It's just that they've been very inconsistent, all the teams they've been in. Like SemperX, I keep calling them a team of reject. Like rejects from all various teams. Buster played MXB. Kappa played famously for Invisible Wings earlier. Yes, he did. And then he played for MXB as well in between when they were called Dare to Dream. Foxy played in Brutality, played a number of other teams as well. Impale has played a number of teams as well. Like, these are guys who have seen action with some very famous names in the Indian scene, in the competitive scene, competitive circuit. And when they gathered up together and formed this team, I had my doubts initially. I'm like, I mean, what are they going to achieve together? Like, these are all just 5 disparate players, but they've actually surprised me a lot. This team and Shooting Monkeys as well, but especially SemperX, they've surprised me a lot with the way they're approaching the game. A much more tactical approach than what you expect from many of the even better than many other well-known teams, to be honest. They actually have a plan in mind. They are aggressive, they have aim, they have playmakers, and just basically such a dangerous team overall. And also the fact that they have so many executes and whatnot, and the way they're approaching the game, and etc, right? Like, sure, it might not work out, sure, they might lose many of the games, but overall, I've actually been surprised in a positive way by this team. And I'm just curious to see what they can do. You know, this line is pretty new. I'm just hoping to see what they can achieve down the line. Again, that is if they manage to hold on to this roster. You know how rosters are in India. They can finds one and takes down Afro Ninja. TK. Things painful. Flashbang is going to come out to cap up to get the kill. Finds one, looking for the second kill. The aim punch is going to be the end. Well, that is going to be the round for SemperX. 11 rounds. Get wrecked. Although it was full eco, they didn't really purchase anything. They were trying to get the bomb down and inflict as much damage as they could, which they managed to get 1 frag, so that's the only saving grace. And I love this aggression. I love the fact that they're getting map control over in B long, which is so very hard, by the way. Impale's gonna be out in the open. He's gonna take the fight. He's still gonna win it though, and just, you know, takes a little bit of felt away from Afro Ninja. The flashbang is going to be pretty decent, but Foxy a little too far away to take advantage of it. Foxy holding the line. Guy over at balcony as well. Foxy shooting out wide. He's going to get punished for it. But Kappa replying back real quickly. Leaving it all down to Krish in a 1v3. Kappa's internally bleeding, but so is Krish at 6 points of health. And he's got to land a lot of neat headshots to close out this game. To close out this round, I'm sorry. This looks highly unlikely. He's trapped in the corner. He's going to find Kappa. He was very low. Finds another one. Krish almost clutches it out. But in the end, he will fall. And that is going to be yet another round going the way of SemperX. Scorchers will be forced to go for on the eco. Pistols and armor. I wouldn't be surprised if that comes out, as they should be able to go for a proper buy the following round. They'll be able to go for the guns and the armor. As we see, Archie is back. It disappeared for a while. Where did it go to, Archie?
Our CEO wanted clarification about what we did the whole day and how we plan on moving forward. So, a little bit of a discussion, things that happen at. But yep. All right, Scorchers, 7 rounds, more or less naked as the day they were born, and Foxy's gonna abuse that maliciously. Gets 1 kill, falls back, hungry, gets. Greed is bad, in the words of the great Mahatma Gandhi. There's enough for everybody's need, but not for everybody's greed. And Kappa finding that out the hard way. Pistol in the face. Still a 4v3, very much doable for SemperX. They should look to preserve as many guns as possible, because, and as I say that, Buster gets his face smashed in by Mythil wielding the P250. Interesting. And now it's a 3v3. Mythil has armor to work with as well, but no head armor. Forsaken can use that to his advantage. And Far Mythil just playing on the edge of the smoke, trying to be as invisible as possible. And oh, I think he might have spotted Foxy out. And Forsaken does get get the kill, but at tremendous cost to himself and his well-being. He's stuck in a rock and a hard place, and Afro Ninja is gonna get the kill. Still a 2v2, both teams all converging on the B-bomb side. Down goes Impale. Sorry, down goes Manan and down goes Afro. And that's the round for SemperX. But they lose 3 guns. That means their economy is going to be stretched thin. And they won't really be able to buy up round after round should they lose this round. So, bit of a misplay there on part of SemperX. Although at the end of the day, it's the rounds that matter. And they have put 13 on the board. They're just 3 rounds away from winning it. Although Krish with the big green gun, we all know how devastating he can be, but he doesn't have head armor. That could work to his detriment. No one's pushing. 2-man play towards a long, pretty standard setup in Cobblestone. Very vulnerable to mid pushes, but oh, Impale is gonna go pushing mid. Will he be tempted to? Krish is marking that angle like a hawk, and he's gonna miss. And Impale's gonna know that there is at least one op at A-long. Should be relaying that information over to towards his teammates. And Foxy, in the meantime, there's gonna be a decent trade play, but Foxy comes out worse for the wear in that altercation. Gets a kill, but down to 2 points of health, and that Molotov is gonna force Buster out. The nade chucking that, doing very little damage and taking quite a bit in turn. Nades in CSGO, bless, just one of those things that I can never figure out. How do you survive an HE nade to the testicles with just 40 points of damage?
Balls of steel.
Amen. Balls of steel indeed. Alrighty, the B play coming out. Buster playing just underneath stairs, and Foxy's gonna feel that push hard way. And Buster showing some trigger discipline, but will get reached. He saw his feet. Where is he shooting anyway? It's down to a 1v3 Forsaken, the clutch master himself. Can he do it is the question. Looking very unlikely at this point. And yeah, he's going to fall back and save because they don't have money. They are broke as they come. Oliver Twist has more money in his bank account right now than SemperX. And as we all know, Oliver Twist always wanted some more. And if SemperX want more, they'll have to bite bitter pill and go for the save and not the retake.
(13-7). Do you feel it coming? Do you feel it coming? Is the question, Arch. No, I don't. I don't want to curse it. My rebuttal, as we will be. Forsaken will survive. It's a very curious spot to save the gun. I don't see that being used that oft. As 30-8 will be the scoreline. Scorchers winning their, I think, first round. Yep, the first round after 5 rounds. Now here's a problem though. For SemperX, they won the rounds, but it was very, very close rounds. The money is not that great. They will have an M4, 2 M4s, a UMP, the 5.7 in the hands of Foxy, and the AWP in the hands of Pale. If they manage to win this round, though, Scorchers' economy is still salvable. It is salvageable. They can still go for a buy, but it is going to be a little rough. Buster, right inside a drop. So back up in the form of Kappa, but he's playing a very risky position. The nade taking quite a bit of a chunk out of him. Mittel knows where he is. Play with him. Kappa's far away. He won't be able to trade if Buster does get taken down. And Buster, 1 flashbang remaining to work with, which he needs to keep. As a floor will be made. We turn into lava. Smoke, roughly in time. Buster still being kept at bay. But in the meantime, the C4 is making its way towards the A bomb site. It is going to be the wraparound. Boss is going to get the kill. Fox is going to find Manan, and that's going to force their hand. But they will have to go for the play here. But these flashes are making so much noises, and Forsaken, he's aware of this. He's slowly creeping up, carrying out danger. He should get the first kill here on the Afro Ninja, who's going to get sprayed down. No problem whatsoever. The C4 is wrapping around. Just one guy remaining, as it looks like. All right, maybe a little bit of weird. That was very strange from my end. Hopefully, you guys didn't experience. Linda's actually going to take a lot out of it, and a little bit of lag from our end. I don't think it is visible on the game, but a little bit from me over here, as Push is going to be left alone. He's going to win it. Now, they didn't get the bomb down, but they have some money in the bank. Now, it's up to Monster whether he wants to go for the AWP buy, or maybe drop an extra rifle to his teammate. they will have to make it work as... Alright, third person. Yeah, that's not my fault, guys. Production, if you guys could please sort that out. I am not in control of that. I do apologize. Anything related to audio, third person, first person, X-ray, tab, not my control. But if my voice dies, that isn't my control. That is my fault. But nothing about Fox is gonna find. Want to see so many players. He must have been licking his chops in Kappa. It's all a patient play. He's got a flank right, and here to come barreling in though. This aggression could actually work out, even though Kappa's got a great angle. Mister might get double or even triple peaked. And he's gonna play it a smart way. Just hold the line. Forsaken waiting as well. They have no flashbacks to make the way. Krish is gonna fight Kappa, who's trying to be very sneaky. Taken and Buster, as Buster goes to the spray, does manage to get the dink. So all is fine. Forsaken will have to make his escape, and that is gonna be the round. Scorchers, they survive. 4 players survive as well, so it looked a little dire, because if this lost this round, the money would have been completely destroyed. Instead, they survive. And that should be the round. SemperX, Forsaken will stay alive with the AWP. Oh no, he gets spotted out. Krish, the timing was absolutely perfect. And that is going to be the round going the way of Scorchers. 9 rounds. Can they come back is the question. Right now, Krish. Sorry, Forsaken has gone for the UMP buy. Gone for the force buy, which is a slightly curious decision. They were kind of completely broken though, so yeah, it was going to double eco anyway, so I'm not too surprised. Except that Buster just went straight into the Molotov and had a chunk of his health burnt away. From the spot by Afro Ninja. Got a flashbang in hand. Gonna try and flash his teammate in, but the flashes are so blind. Impale gets team flashed twice. Double team flash. That's gotta suck. Mythal in the meantime dancing around. Tech Knight comes out, but Impale's gonna help him out by taking down his teammate. This is looking very interesting. Buster somehow still alive. As Impale is coming to his rescue. He's got an M4. Monster's gonna finally get the kill, but Impale is holding alive with M4 control. He's gonna spray, does so much of damage. He's done his job. Forsaken just needs to land a couple of bullets, but Mrin, the guy with the health and the AK-4, when it comes running around and saving his teammate. As Scorchers, they get to round number 10. They get to double digits. Still. SemperX though, the force buy, not quite working out. It's going to be an eco. That's going to allow them to get to round number... Scorchers to get to round number 11. Unless they completely, utterly crap the bed, which I doubt. But you never know. You never know, Archie.
One thing that really I still don't understand is why will you go for upgraded pistols on Felico when you don't have any money to work with? It's gonna hurt your full buy anyway. Buster gonna, and when the USPs can do that, I don't get it, because it's gonna hurt your economy going forward. You're gonna have limited utility going into your proper gun round, and that's always gonna come back to bite you in the backside. Save, if you're gonna go for the save without armor, fight the breaker build, go for it. Don't go half-arsing into it by one CZ and one, Deagle. Those pistols aren't necessarily cheap. There we go, Monster is gonna mop the floor, and Afro Ninja gonna get the final kill. He gets a 3k. And yeah, and now look at the money that they're not gonna have all the utility to go in to their proper gun round with. It's a mystery to me as to why teams here prefer and insist on doing that game after game. Look at Impale. He invested $700 in the previous round for a Deagle, did bugger all with it, and now can't go. He instead could have had 1 smoke and 2 flashbangs. What would you think is more valuable, Blair? 1 smoke and 2 flashbangs, or a Deagle that you do absolutely nothing with?
It's about being, it's about confidence, I guess. Sometimes people feel it, and it's illogical, but people feel it. They're like, yeah, I'm feeling it. I feel I'm going to land a couple of Deagle shots, and they get punished for it. But it's hard to break that mentality, so to speak, as Afro Ninja is going to come charging and cross out another player, but he will not know who to shoot, and everyone is just falling like flies. One guy's left alive. It is Krish with the AWP, and he needs to land some nasty shots here. And nice flick on Impale. Completely unnecessary from Impale to go for that peak. It was a 1v3, now it's a 1v2, and over a minute left on the clock for Krish to work with, so he's got time. Time is his best friend. But I like what Foxy is doing. He's aggressing out, gathering some information, so he knows there's no one close by at the moment. And they could play retake, but Forsaken, and it's a very off angle from Foxy as well. I think if anyone walks that deal, will be caught with their pants down. And Forsaken making his way towards the balcony area. Krish can pull this off. It gets the kill. If it gets the kill onto Forsaken, it's going to leave him in a 1v1. And with the ability to get the bomb down, it's all about the no-scope. Oh no, misses the shot. The Forsaken reacts in time. Gets the kill, and ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be map and match point here. Scorchers 15 to 11. So much work to do for SemperX. Sorry, for Scorchers. They have the money to work with. They have the superior weaponry. They have the utility. And for SemperX, I like the fact that they have. Is that the right word? Do you pronounce that way? Eschewed? Eschewed. Yeah, they've eschewed the weaponry in favor of utility. And that's a small little thing which I really appreciate. Small little thing I really like, over the fact that they're willing to compromise on the weaponry just so that they can have that utility work, especially since that Incendio is going to push back the middle. And then you can see flashes, the nades raining in from the CTs, another smoke in place, Cavill with the AWP. Don't fall back to safety, no need to over-aggress, because contesting the platform could become a little bit more costly. I've already lost Impale.
What I mean, the P90 at Broken Wall or Draw. That is what I missed. That is what I'm taking away from. I don't know why that thought just struck me. That's what I missed a lot. Anyway, Mythil gonna find Foxy. Mythil gonna find Kappa. Mythil single-handedly 3 entry frags for him, and that should be the round for Scorchers. And one thing I was gonna say about the Scorchers, they look really hapless without their captain. And you know, to marshal them, that is DNM. DNM definitely one of the smarter players in Indian Counter-Strike. That is, might have something to do with the fact that he's also a real-life medical doctor. One of the more cerebral players. And now the rest of the team from SemperX is just going to look to try to save these guns. Forsaken must be getting tired of just sitting out of the act, trying to hold on to whatever rifle he went into the round with. But it is the right call because their money doesn't look good at all. They bought down to their last dollars. It's like they've scraped the bottom of the barrel, and now Busters in the face. Forsaken will join him, will be following suit rather soon. Join his teammate in Valhalla.
Norwegians now, are we? Scandinavians. Alright then. Valhalla, Odin, Mjolnir. Is it even pronounced Mjolnir?
It's pronounced Mjolnir.
Gotta roll the tongue a bit, but here we go. Again, resuming with the game. Krish with the AWP. SemperX on a full eco. They know they still have a 3-round cushion to close this one out. But it's still 3 rounds for Scorchers. It is possible. It is very possible. That P250 is dangerous in this guy's hand. In the meantime, Mythil has made his way to a drop. He is always lonesome. There's no one to trade for him. They're peeking together. He's gonna get, whoa, taken to 1 HP. How is he even alive? And he's gonna get taken out by Impale. But now it's gotta push their hand now. They have to go for a play here. Still a bit on the clock though. But the information being gathered. Never mind, I thought for a second pushed up. He's not, he's still holding the line, and Bale's gonna fall back to the wrong bomb site. But somehow Fox with a P250, what a beast! And he makes his escape as well, is still alive. I'm not so sure why he's shooting bullets. This is so risky. One bullet in the toe, he's done for. As Forsaken is making his way to the bomb site. Impale as well. They have no armor. Not like this. Impale is going to take the fight. He's going to get aim punch to death. Till 2v2. As Krish is going to find Foxy. It's all in Forsaken. USP in hand. They don't know where he is. Fall back and pick up the AK. Bomb is going to get planted. Exactly what he's going to do. Feeling it. Walking back to pick the AK. Spotted out by Munnen. Now he knows exactly where he is. Smokes under Gloom as well. To allow him to make his escape. So he can far by Krish. Cheeky little shoulder peek there. Time's not his friend though. Krish. Time doesn't work out, but this time around is going to win the deal. Takes him down. And that is going to be the round going the way of SemperX. Sorry, of Scorchers, my bad. As SemperX, well, it was an eco round. And they got 3 kills. Great work from Foxy, but they will have to go for the double eco. It's going to be a few upgraded pistols and armor this time around. They have better weaponry than what they had for the previous round. And they're going to be just betting everything in the final buy of regulation time.
I mean, great work there from Foxy, to be very honest. Putting that P250 to masterful work. But at the end of the day, it is rounds that you want. And I think it was Kappa with the AK-47 who got a bit greedy, in my opinion. Could have just positioned himself a bit better instead of going for that aim duel at that point. Because the aim punch is always going to be a factor, a mitigating factor, in fact. Even if... Oh, and Buster opening things up with the kill onto Nithil. But Buster busting them open is like Floyd Mayweather right now, just punching like uppercuts left, right, and center, just knocking them out cold. Yeah, not like it's another eco on the cards, and see Forsaken already on the flank. With the P250, you already know what the P250 can do from that range. Oh, Monster just completely, he's just playing black right now, or Helen Keller, whatever. Basically, his vision is completely and utterly compromised. In the meantime, Fox has recovered the AK-47, also has armor to work with, and he's gonna just line them up. Goodbye, Irene. And then Foxy. With that, they got ecoed. Scorchers and SemperX will win it 16-13. A bit of a contest towards the end, but really SemperX just put the pedal to the metal and saw out the game in the best way that they could with pistols, OP pistols, Valve, Bliss. Anyway, that's all from our side. I hope you guys had a good time. If you did, please do hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. ESL India is doing a tremendous job promoting esports in the country. Please do, show your token of appreciation. Anyway, guys, that's it from Bleh and myself, Fett. And we'll see you when we see you. Bye, guys.
Well, definitely the day SemperX was waiting for, rather the round in this case. 16-13, that comeback from the Scorchers team could not suffice long enough. SemperX had to make the day, and they have taken it. This opportunity goes well in their favor. 16-13, like I said, the score line now goes there. And this also brings us to the end of the Counter-Strike Global Offensive game we had for you guys in today's live stream. Now, moving ahead, let me once again welcome each and every one of you who took out the time and the opportunity to witness us live stream all these sets of Masters League matches in the ongoing ESL India Premiership 2017 Fall Season August session, brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX, and Zawi by BenQ. And now we have a Dota 2 match in the offing. We have Aggressive 5. Yes, you heard that right. Pasola and Gang will be facing Team Genesis. So let's quickly take a look at both the teams here. Now, Yes, I did mention aggressive five here. Pasol, that's the captain's name. Onkar Pasol Onkar, one of the best teams in Dota in the country. Now they have consistently finished second in the online session, and at the summer season finale, they failed to convert their online presence. And sadly, that happened at the land round on the 1st and 2nd of July when that happened. Now they opted for a roster change. Prasad Bhattosainalavde has left the team. Darshan 35 Bata has been bought in so that he can replace Bhattosai. Meanwhile, Paddling and Nagi are switching their roles in the game. Now, they are currently unbeaten in the August phase and they continue to look confident. We expect them to pocket this phase as well. Now, Team Genesis, their opposition. Strong powerhouses there. They're based out of Malaysia. Features several top MMR players, has participated in several regional qualifiers, including the ROG Masters and TI qualifiers. The team entered the ESL India Premiership 2017 through the summer season and got promoted to the Challenger League. In the fall season, July Challenger League, the team finished first, thus giving them the opportunity to be in the Masters League. So will Genesis prevail or will Pasol stop this onslaught? We'll get to find out soon.
Be still now and feel the water. Keep the ground upon your cheek when you dwindle in. You be kind and let me go. I'm as timeless as you be.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ESL India Premiership. My name is Vivek, and today we have Genesis Gaming from Malaysia facing off versus Aggressive 5 from India. This is the fall phase 2, and Genesis coming into this game following a defeat versus Signify. Signify did manage to beat them in a rather convincing manner. It's not too often that you see the enemy mid laner get completely outskilled. And Rona Crowley sent it exactly that versus Genesis. I mean, it was a Puck versus Queen of Pain matchup, a matchup that, I mean, in my books and in the books of most casters slash analysts, does tend to favor the Puck. Crowley, though, on the Queen of Pain, absolutely dominating the Puck in the middle lane. What's interesting and something that I'm going to consider is that he didn't put a single point into the dagger. Just put points into Blink and Scream, and then as soon as the Puck does decide to phase shift, you pretty much should follow that up with the Scream, so that the Scream damage does match the connect. The dagger into phase shift is a battle that you're not going to win. I mean, the dagger animation too obvious, and even if you pump fake it, it is going to be pretty doable for the Puck to dodge that. Back to this game in the draft so far, we're seeing a Lich getting banned out. That, well, I mean, Lich has pretty much been the meta. It's just, well, I want to say this hero was forgotten. It just recently discovered. Sacrifice has always been strong. Chain Frost is great in team fights. And
10 seconds remaining.
the impact that Sacrifice has only been amplified because of the changes to the mid lane. You're getting the extra melee creep, and taking one range creep away from the equation pretty much secures the mid lane for you. Ice Armor is also nice in the mid game. You can drop it on heroes, drop it in buildings,
Dire team
keep them
back.
up and going. For the pick so far, Genesis have opened with the Shaman, a good 5, ample lockdown to deal with pesky offlaners, and he's also got the Mars Serpent Walls, which are great when you want to push and try and take an objective. They followed that up with the Monkey King. Still not clear whether this is a support Monkey King or a core Monkey King. We'll probably get a better idea as the draft progresses. What aggressive I need to watch out for is Genesis trying to pick up the puck. Because theoretically, coil into Wukong's command is the best setup you can have if you're a Monkey King. You either break the coil and end up getting stunned, or you stand and fight in the Wukong's command and you end up losing. Aggressive fight, they got the Sand King as well as the Nature's Prophet. The TM meta still having its impact in the Indian scene. I presume there's going to be an offlane Prophet. And they banned out the Venomance as well as the Batrider. Batrider, one of those heroes that's good versus the Monkey King. In the sense that Sticky Napalm gives you vision, and Firefly pretty much ensures that you can break down trees
10
and
seconds
thereby
remaining.
stun the Monkey King for a good period of time and eventually take him down.
5 seconds remaining.
This Sand King pick, it is possible that the Sand King could be heading to... okay, excuse me, what am I saying? It's quite clear that it's going to be Nature's Prophet heading to the off lane. It's going to be a support Sand King coming up from aggressive 5. They have run the Clockwork a lot in the past, and actually the Clockwork would have been pretty good versus the Monkey King. You've got rockets, cheap, easy vision, just to keep tabs on the Monkey King in case Genesis are planning an ambush. Genesis respond though with a Mirana pickup. So I assume we're seeing a core Mirana here. And I'm also assuming that she's going to go DPS heavy. With all those DPS talents that
10
Mirana has, and
seconds
with,
remaining.
well, the fair amount of nerfs to the
5
Axe Scepter,
seconds
the
remaining.
cooldown, the extra meteor from the Starstorm not hitting when you do happen to triggers when you do happen to trigger an Axe Starstorm. With all those changes to Mirana and Starstorm and how it works with the Axe Scepter, I presume she's going to be going core. She's got a decent amount of talents to back her up as a DPS heavy core. And aggressive 5, probably looking to pick up a Soul's hero here. He has played Silencer a fair bit in the past. He's rather effective at zoning out the enemy offlane, and he manages to steal a whole lot of intelligence. It wouldn't be too bad with the Sand King, but they're going to go with the Ancient Apparition. This could mean that aggressive 5 are considering a safe lane Void if they want to. Simply because Chronosphere into Ice Blast, easy setup, strong team fight,
10 seconds remaining.
and could scale reasonably well into the late game as well. Aggressive 5, they've not given away too much of the draft, other than the fact that they're looking at some form of push, a split push with the Nature's Prophet. Genesis, on the other hand, they made one of their cores rather clear at this point. It's quite obvious that it's going to be Mirana going to the safe lane, or excuse me, the mid lane, my bad. They are still looking for an off laner here on the side of Genesis. They banned out the Earthshaker themselves. Sand King's been picked up. Nature's Prophet's been picked up. Batrider's been banned. Nyx has been banned. You got options like the Centaur, the
Dire
Void,
team pick.
or even the Slaughter. But Genesis, they're going to pick up the Ursa Warrior. It is still a possibility that we might see this Mirana go to the offlane. I'm not a fan of it, but it is something Genesis can do if they want to. Right now, they're quite fluid with the draft. And aggressive, they're not messing around. They're picking up the Viper for paddling in the mid lane. If aggressive want to, they could pick up Drow in the safe lane. It wouldn't be too bad. But then all Genesis have to do is probably to run an aggressive try, and yeah, they're going to ban out the draw themselves. Viper with the precision order coming out from the draw, just too much of a nuisance in the mid lane, and Genesis, they're not taking their chances. Last man for aggressive 5. I want to see them ban out the Void, unless they're going to pick it up, in which case they're probably looking to ban out something like the Centaur or the Slada, or maybe a Darks here. One of these. Aggressive 5 taking the time with this last ban. They do have first pick after this ban phase, so if they want to pick up the Void, they indeed can. I haven't seen Negi play it, but I mean, Negi's only played a couple of matches as the 1 position for aggressive 5. Pretty sure it's within his hero pool. In which case, what are you looking to take out if you're aggressive 5? You're gonna ban this Spirit Breaker. So they're reading this as a Monkey King and banning out a 4 position hero instead. Which is possible, but I'm just not seeing the obvious synergy between the lineup coming up from Genesis just yet if this is indeed a Monkey King.
10 seconds remaining.
Last pick for aggressive 5. Looking
5 seconds remaining.
for something to take at the 1 position. I wouldn't be too opposed to the Void. You also got the usual suspects like the Juggernaut, the Lifestealer. This isn't particularly a good Lifestealer game actually, especially when there's an Ursa on the other side. You got Juggernaut, you got Lifestealer, you got PA if you want to. What else? Got Sven. But they're going to go with the Void. And I'm pretty sure if I saw it coming, Genesis did see this coming up as well. Genesis, for the time being, they're lacking in team fight. They could pick up something like the Pug and send Mirana to the offlane. The coil would be a decent amount of AoE setup
5 seconds remaining.
for the Monkey King, and all in all, a little bit of control that Genesis are lacking when it comes to team fight. But they're going to go with the Tinker itself. They're going to have a little bit of split push to deal with the Nature's Prophet. Aggressive, I don't have the best heroes to catch out the Tinker. To some extent, Ice Vortex can provide a little bit of vision in the trees. It's also not too bad versus the Monkey King. It's cheap vision. And that's all aggressive I have going for them in terms of vision. I'm looking at the tri-lane that we will be seeing coming out from Genesis. It's going to be Shaman plus Ursa along with either the Monkey King or the Mirana. 835. He's going to be on top of his micro, and in fact, if Shaman is not too careful, he could end up going down to the Nature's Prophet, and purely the right click that he does. I like the lineup coming out from aggressive 5. It's a lot more rounded compared to that of Genesis, but yeah, I mean, this is going to be one of those games where it's going to be pretty obvious whether or not there's a skill gap between either side. And if there is, Genesis should take this game rather easily. What's also excuse me. What's also interesting to note is Negi isn't playing the Void, Paddling is. So up until now, it was usually Paddling who was going to the mid lane. But at least for this game, it seems to be Paddling going to the safe lane with the Void. So aggressive, I switch things up here. I'm going to quickly run through the lineups. And I'm going to start out with Genesis. We've got DC, RE, FTR on the Shaman. Mercury going to be playing the Tinker. Ursa in the hands of Ollie. Monkey King in the hands of Dali. And that leaves us with Heejin playing the Priestess of the Moon or the Mirana, depending which era you belong to. Persol, the Captain on the Ancient Apparition. Pinkman or Shabazz on the Sand King. Aggressive 5 hours. Smoked up early though. Paddling going to be playing that Viper Void in the hands of Negi. And that leaves us with A35, the latest addition on the Nature's Prophet. Early smoke coming out from aggressive 5. Clearly, it seems to be a support Monkey King and a core Mirana. Mirana starting out in the off lane, got 8 tangos to start out with. Needs to be careful because there is a reasonable amount of kill potential between the Void, the Sand King, and the Ancient Apparition. Interesting skill build coming out from the Monkey King. Immediately starts off with the Primal Spring as opposed to the Jingo Mastery. I see value in an early point in Jingo Mastery, especially when you're up against a melee offlaner. You can almost always trade better and force the offlaner out the lane. But I don't see him doing that versus the Nature's Prophet. So he's put a point into Primal Spring that's going to allow him to quickly move across the map and drop this deep observer ward that's just on the periphery of blocking the camp. And it's also going to scout out Aggressify to some extent. This observer though, excuse me, that's not an observer, that's Monkey King disguised as a courier. Yeah, but this observer, if I'm not mistaken, it did get called out by the Monkey King. And yeah, immediate D-bot coming out. Easy 100 gold going into the pockets of Mercury and the Tinker. And Genesis off to a good start in terms of vision. Okay, so they switched it up once more. It is Paddling playing the Viper and Negi playing the Void. Aggressify. Hopefully they're on their toes for courier snipes and such. Yeah, he's even dropped the deep observer. Is anyone going to act as a bodyguard to that courier? I mean, if he gets the courier snipe before the 5-minute mark, and if he manages to make a couple of rotations onto paddling just with Primal Spring, it's very possible that the Tinker could just end up outdoing the Viper in lane. Aggressify need to be careful about this. Meanwhile, they've gone on the top lane. T-Gen holding on to a skill point. The Burrow Strike will miss. And that's Mirana without a point into the arrow just yet. We've got the Chilling Touch coming up from the Ancient Apparition. This Burrow Strike is going to connect. Fasol going to try and get as many right clicks off with the Chilling Touch. And it does do a fair amount of damage, but not enough. The courier still waiting patiently in the fountain. Monkey King did manage to soak up a little bit of EXP. If I'm not mistaken, no. I don't think that got picked out. But they do see him moving towards the bottom lane. A35 needs to be careful. The Shaman moves ahead rather too aggressively. A35's got that second point in teleportation. So a rotation and a play onto the mid lane onto the Tinker is possible. And Paddling does need a little bit of help. I mean, he's not winning the CS battle. I mean, you pretty much pick Viper to win the lane. And hopefully the game. And right now he's not winning the lane. Pinkman trying to steal the enemy bounty rune. Monkey King prepping to do the same. Mirana needs that level 2 desperately so that she can get a point into the arrow and try and farm off those neutrals. That's well, that's a recovery in the early game at the least. Another pause coming out. Few minutes in, both cores on either side doing rather well. Both one position cores actually, but A35 is getting a whole lot more out of the offlane. The Shaman and the Monkey King, well, they're still struggling to punish him. Pinkman needs a couple of points in Burrow Strike before he can make that rotation. Monkey King preemptively moves to the mid lane. Shaman's prepping as well. He's got a smoke. He's popped the smoke, in fact. Battling as a Salve, and this skill is harder with 2 points into the corrosive skin. Top lane, they're going in onto the Mirana. Cold Feet, I don't think it's going to proc Pinkman with the double damage. Showing a little bit of respect. The arrow narrowly misses there. Does connect on a creep. So Keegan's got his level 2. Meanwhile, mid lane, TP rotation coming up from the Nature's Prophet. Cancelled as well. Baiting out a salve on the Tinker. Both sides poking and prodding in this early game, but nobody getting first blood just yet. Battling now starting to do well in the lane. But there's no way he stands in March of the Machines, and that's a neat little adjustment in terms of skill build that Mercury's made on this Tinker. 2 points in Laser, 2 points in March. Pretty much forcing the Viper to lost it under his tower with the way he pushed in. Still searching for this courier. Another 2 minutes till the war time's out, and so far he's not got too much accomplished. Moves from Bounty Rune to Bounty Rune. Hits level 2 by the 4-minute mark, but he's seeing a TP rotation from 835. Picks up the Invis Rune and walks into the Monkey King. Pinkman searching for the Mirana, but not able to find her. Pinkman and Pasol, they've been caught. The shackles are there, but an immediate burrow strike to cancel them. Pasol will fall. The laser along with the Jingdu make sure that he ends up going, and Pinkman is just going to retrieve for the time being. So Genesis go first blood. It's only an ancient apparition falling, and I don't think Aggressive 5 will be too bothered about that. But they do get scouted out, and A35, he's being chased under his own tower. The Sprout keeping him alive a little while longer. Oli slams the ground, secures the kill with the Earth Shock. Pasol making a rotation. He's got the Cold Feet along with the Ice Vortex. And Oli does get punished for his deep dive. Good rotations coming out from Aggressive 5. They're generally being aware across the map. Starling's got the Aquila along with the Flask. Actually going to drop down the network charts at this point. Top lane, Primal Spring. But Negi's out of there. Not going to have any effect. Mid lane, Ulsa charges in. He's got the face boost. Mercury, he's got 3 points in the laser. It is a kill on Paddling. They're looking for more. Pinkman didn't even get the Butter Strike off. Now he does, but he's got no consumables. And probably he's going to end up going down to the right clicks. The Ice Vortex, though, slowing down Mercury, and maybe, just maybe, that might have made the difference.
The seeds of fortress.
Pinkman gives his clarity to Pasol and makes a long trip back home.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Gold and
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
A35. He got the face boots up and going. And along with the Sprout, he's going to be a slippery character unless they get some obvious lockdown on him. The Shaman, though, he's made his way to the top lane. They're trying to find the kill on this Void, but it's going to be hard. Negi getting closer and closer to his level 6, so he might even have the Chrono as an option to use defensively and get out of battle if need be. Keegan waiting for the shackles to land so that he can follow it up with an arrow. Dali jumps into the trees, making sure that his team has some vision to work with. Negi probably knows that the two heroes here by this point of time. But the Shaman walks in, the shackles are there, Starstorm to follow, the arrow connects as well, and with the Ether Shock, he's dead for sure.
Top tower is under attack.
Pinkman and Pasol leave their core alone, and he ends up falling. They do end up rotating, but it's a little bit too late. With Negi down, the Pinkman should get some much needed levels. Reaching the 8-minute mark, and he's nowhere close to his level 3. He does need points in Burrow Strike. A death on him now could be costly. So they left the user by himself, and they're trying to pressure the Void and his lane altogether. The Void jumps in with a Chrono Spear! Aye, aye, aye. What? I don't even want to say that was a matter of pixels, that was a matter of miles. But Keegan, it's almost as if he wants to ensure that Negi gets the kill. He walks back to lane and ends up dying after his leap was in cooldown. So they do manage to kill the Mirana. Chrono was expended, however, on nothing. And Mirana does end up falling down. 8 minutes in, 4-2 was the score. Aggressive 5. I don't want to say they're clearly running away with this early game. The Viper's keeping up with the Tinker in terms of net worth, but honestly, the question that Aggressive 5 need to ask themselves is, if they're having a Viper who's just managing to keep up with the Tinker, was Viper honestly the best hero you could have drafted in the mid lane?
Dire's bottom tower
I
is
still
under attack.
like to look at Viper as a situational mid laner. I mean, there some scenarios where he doesn't end up working. And where he's not winning his lane, it's quite a problem, because you could pretty much pick any other mid lane, and there are a lot of mid laners who would have gone toe-to-toe Tinker in the mid lane. And provide a lot more utility as the game progresses. This Viper, though, I'm not sure how he's going to contribute as the game progresses. A35 is backed up for the time being. Drops the Wrath of Nature, trying to keep the push at bay. Meanwhile, top lane, they're prepping for the Mirana. Pinkman, he's got a couple points in Burrow Strike, but walks in, takes the Starstorm. Mirana chasing for more. He dodges the arrow with the Burrow Strike. Negi jumps in with the Time Walk. The leap on cooldown. It's unlikely that they'll get the kill, and Pinkman ends up going down either way. What? I thought he dodged the arrow. How did he fall? I'm not even sure what happened at that point. Meanwhile, mid lane, they're prepping for the Tinker. A35 jumped in. He summons a couple of trees. Mercury dropping low. The Viper Strike has worn off. TP rotations are coming in. Mercury doesn't have mana. The Wrath of Nature expended. Here comes Pinkman with the Burrow Strike onto the Shaman. The Caustic doing its work. Usa makes a rotation as well, but A35 with the face boots and the windlace quickly gets the hell out of there. The Boundless Strike, along with the Primal Spring, will ensure that he doesn't get the haste rune and doesn't get away scot-free. Aggressive 5. Well, I want to say they're trading even with Genesis at this point. Negi takes the Starstorm, Time Walk on cooldown. Not going to be able to shrug away most of the damage. He's going into the Vlad's first, which is good, which does allow you to retreat to the jungle and continue to farm effectively there as well. And all in all, nice item to have when you have a Viper and a Nature's Prophet on your side. The autos are good, the life steal is healthy. Got the Chronos available. Ulsa making these early rotations. They're looking for Negi. Negi drops the Chrono. Pinkman doesn't have the epicenter. 2 points in Burst. Can they get the kill? The Ice Blast coming through. This might be the death of the Mirana, and they could look for more on the Ulsa. Pinkman does have the Sandstorm. That's going to allow him to stay alive a little while longer. Elsewhere, A35 doing more damage across the map. Manages to bring down the Shaman by himself. The Wrath of Nature still online. They could look for more. Pinkman, he's got mana for the Burrow Strike, the Chilling Touch being used, Ice Vortex as well, Cold Feet for good measure, all being slowed down, pops the Enrage, turns around. He's going to be taking a little less damage. The Enrage has worn off though. Nature's Prophet, not going to TP in, but Keegan's back alive. And Aggressive not pushing their luck, the arrow not going to connect, the Courier watching it pass underneath him. Mask of Madness on the Usa ball. That's going to give him a lot of extra move speed. He has to be careful though. I presume he's going to only pop it after he pops the Enrage. A35 keeping the pressure going on this Radiant safe lane. Monkey King jumps off the trees. But a small significant nerf to Primal Spring is that you can hear it as it's being channeled. So you do have time to react. Paddling, mid lane. Going to be caught unaware here. The shackles are there, and this should be an easy kill for the Usam. Does pop the Mask of Madness, and along with the Ether Shock, they bring him down. Serpent Wards at the ready. It's Genesis who try to strike first here. A35 trying to apply some pressure on the Radiant safe lane, but this is Viper losing his mid tier 1. Aggressive 5 in no position to respond. I mean, Pinkman 12 minutes in, he's still level 4. Pasol is 6, but Pasol is dead as well. The users caught him. Genesis, I mean, if you take a look at Radiant Vision, look at these deep wards coming out from them. They see a lot more across the map. And they're making use of this vision to secure kills and objectives. Negi, he's got Chronosphere coming off cooldown. A35 wanted to TP in. But he's not going to do so. Ollie with the Invis rule. Moonlight Shadow for good measure. Aggressive fire. Not sure if they know what Genesis is up to at this point. The Monkey King jumps off the trees. The Shaman is there with the shackles. The Ice Blast comes out, but it's not going to do too much. The shatter damage isn't there. And Nengi, he's holding on to his Chronosphere paddling. He made the rotation on the Viper with the push up. Nengi drops the Chrono. No Ice Blast to follow. Paddling on the side with the Viper Strike. They want to get rid of the Monkey King. But Nengi caught in the shackles. The Marth spam as well. He's going to shrug it off with the Time Walk. Pasol will end up falling, paddling in between two heroes from the side of Genesis. And arrow to the head. And he's been brought down as well. They lose the Monkey King. They lose the Shaman. But they've claimed so much more. And Pinkman can only run away for the time being. A second tier 1 tower on the cards for Genesis. But A35 doing the right thing, immediately applying pressure across the map. He's stuck the mid creep wave and summoned a couple of treants. But he got Tinker with BOTs, it's no real problem. Top lane, Ice Blast. Does manage to clip on the Mirana, but it's unlikely that she goes down to a level 1 Ice Blast at this point. Genesis get a tier 1 with no contest. And 14 minutes in, a 3000 gold advantage in their favor. Aggressive fight, confined to farming their own jungle. That's not really very safe when you have a Monkey King on the prowl. Mercury on the ticker, he's got the beauties up and going. 15 minutes and he's even inching ridiculously close to his Blink Dagger. He's done pretty well for himself. I mean, he's pulled ahead in terms of net worth compared to the Tinker. Shaman going for the D-Ward, might get punished. A35 walks in with Shroud. They're not even going to commit the Ice Flush. The Mass Open Wards do come out though. A35 trapped within them. He's got no TP, a Boundless Strike for good measure. The Primal Spring comes off from the Monkey King. And it's a dead A35 with the rockets coming out from the Tinker. Meanwhile, Ollie, he slayed Roshan by himself. Aggressive fire that's bleeding all across the map at this point. They did win Fall Phase 1 without losing a single game. I mean, they ended around that Fall Phase 1 without losing a single game. But this time it's going to be a little different. Genesis is trying to put an end to that streak. Tinker's got the blink as well. So it's going to allow him, going to allow him positional advantage while looking for kills. And going to be hard for Aggressify to try and find him and get a pick off. Monkey King hiding in the trees. Cosplaying is one of them. And A35 can't tell the difference at this point. Moonlight Shadow being committed. Trying to keep the Usa alive. Usa's got ages though. The arrow comes out, connects on Pinkman. Usa's gone under the back lines. He's brought down Pasol. There's no Chronos here. There's no Ice Blast either. Ollie with the mega kill streak. Elsewhere, the shackles hold Pinkman in place. He's dropping low. Negi drops the Chrono. But where's the damage? It's battling with the force stuff. It's Void with Vladimir's offering. And it's not really too much. Here's a real damage dealer though. It's Ollie on the Usa Warrior with the Mask of Madness. And with that Blink Dagger, they're looking for more. Pinkman caught by the Primal Spring. Slowed down as well. The Borrow Strike is there, but it's not going to ensure his safety. He's been brought down. It's a triple kill for the Usa Warrior. Genesis are stomping all over their opponents at this point. "70 minutes in, it's a 4K net worth advantage in favor of Genesis. The vision has died down though. I mean, both sides, they're not really seeing too much. If you toggle between that and Radiant Visions, there's just this couple of wards near the bottom rune. They really need the Ice Blast to follow up to the Chronosphere, and I wouldn't be too opposed to the idea of Vasul just being far away from most of the action. That's gonna ensure that he has an easier AoE to work with that Ice Blast, and it's also gonna ensure that he gets the Ice Blast off, because without the Ice Blast, they're severely lacking damage when they try to bring down these heroes. I mean, they commit the Chrono, they get a Monkey King that's really not very fulfilling or satisfying. And now Genesis, they know that the Chronosphere is down, and they're going to try and pressure the advantage as much as possible. A35 trying to do his best and rat across the map, but you got to think out with BOTs and a Blink Dagger. No easy towers to use, so. And Aggressify is giving up real estate with no real contest. Not something Trump would be too proud of. Genesis get the deep vision back. They see the Sand King with this Observer. I'm not sure he can get the kill by himself, but he's got Mercury around. He's prepping with the rockets and the laser. Sandstorm's being forced out by Pinkman. Patience from Genesis. Pinkman walks out of the Sandstorm. Ursa jumps in. The Barrow Strike is there, but the rockets will ensure he falls. Genesis making the utmost use of the vision there. Waiting patiently to bring down the Sand King, and now they're looking for more. Paddy or Paddling caught with the Boundless Strike. Wukong's command as well. The Shackles are there. The Ice Blast, it's going to fly through. It's going to clip a bunch of them, but there's no follow-up damage just yet from Aggressive 5. And with the Wukong's command, Negi doesn't feel comfortable going in elsewhere. Mercury scores a solo kill on the Nature's Prophet. It's Aggressive 5 with a global strat of sorts coming out from the Nature's Prophet and the Ancient Apparition. But honestly, it feels like Genesis who are running one at this point. They're scoring kills and objectives across all lanes at once. And it's really beautiful to watch them play. Once again, they've got this ward up, and Monkey King's trying to prep with a little bit more vision. Aggressify, they probably need to pop a smoke when they have the Chrono up and going, which is now. But still trying to get some vision back. I presume Genesis are not going to contest. In fact, A35 might just end up going down. Once again, Ice Blast thrown out, Chrono not expended. Genesis had the short window to work with. But good lad, Pasol. Manages to get his side a little bit of much needed vision control. Paddling. He's searching for the Hyken Pike. He's got the first half complete, but hasn't had any real item progression since then. I mean, the Mirana is doing a whole lot better with the Diffusal Blade. It's going to be outputting some real physical DPS along with the 8 agility talent. A35 TPs in to the top lane, spawns a couple of treants, most of them bot down really low. The Radiant do use the scan, so they know somebody walked past it. They're on the hunt. Tinker TPs to the top lane, the Boundless Strike will connect the Primal Spring for good measure. He's got the Force Staff, but there's an arrow waiting for him, and Pinkman waiting under his tower in the cover of Sandstorm will be brought down. A sentry ward when you need it. And Genesis looking to take down the last outer tower. It's been clinical, picture-perfect Dota coming out from them. They've outplayed Aggressive Fire at every step, and no amount of farming or ratting is going to ensure that they come back in this game. I mean, Negi needs to hit the Chronosphere of his life if Aggressive Fire hope to come back. Genesis, they've had enough. They're not waiting for Roshan number 2. In fact, they're just going to go up high ground. They drop the Mars Serpent Watch. They're going to force Aggressive Fire to fight. And I understand the sentiment. They feel they have the advantage. The Boundless Strike will connect. Negi's been controlled. He's been held in place with the Shackles. And that's 47 seconds with no void. 47 seconds with no Chronosphere. How do Aggressive Fire come back? I mean, Pasol walks in to get the cold feet off. But Ollie just jumps him and brings him down. Pinkman with the Impale onto the Mirana. But Mirana's going to turn. Drops the Starstorm. They've got detection. They've got vision. They're going to take A35 first. Pinkman needs to run. And indeed, he's going to do just that. Paddling wants to fight though with the Viper Strike. He senses he can get the Shaman at the very least. The arrow's going to miss, but Ursa's going to jump in anyway. Pinkman returns once more with the Barrow Strike, but he's just going to end up falling. Have they got any more detection? Unfortunately, no. And it doesn't matter when you get a lane of frags. In fact, Mercury goes back in and kills Pinkman somehow Genesis absolutely stomping over their opponents. Ancient Apparition is missing indeed, and they don't want to be caught unaware by an Ice Blast. Negi's respawn on the Void. Genesis still feeling pretty cocky at this point. Ollie's going to wait and take down the melee barracks. Negi jumps in, Chronosphere under the Ursa. They're going to get him at the very least. Keygen on the Mirana with the arrow from the outside. Ollie feels he can turn around. He's got the enrage coming off cooldown, but Mercury to the rescue. Negi hugs the shrine, but he's going to run elsewhere. A35 jumps in with the push up. Mercury with the laser manages to get the Void down. And all I've seen is Void dead for 80 seconds at a stretch. There's not much he's doing, and once again, aggressive 5 without that Chronosphere for a good 92 seconds. It's looking really tough for aggressive 5. Shaman's got the Aether Lens as well, so he's got extra range to work with. Ollie does see Pinkman. Pinkman nowhere close to his Blink Dagger. I mean, Pinkman is poorer than the Shaman at this point. Not been too effective in lanes, and looks like he's going down once more. The Shaman with the long range shackles. Monkey King has a Desolator. This is a cause for concern. 24 minutes in, support Monkey King, phase Desolator and earn. Top lane, A35 goes into the trees, doesn't manage to TP out though. Thinker, what's he gone for the Aether Lens? He's got the axe complete. Meanwhile, mid lane, the action's broken out. Negi being controlled with the shackles, brought down as well. The Wukong's command doing a whole lot. The laser ensures that paddling will fall. But Soul standing on the cusp of the Wukong's command goes down as well. It's the laser rocket missile show from the Tinker. An aggressive 5 have tapped out. 24 minutes in, 33-12. Genesis with one of the most convincing victories I've ever seen in the ESL India Premiership. Anyway, folks, that's it as far as today's broadcast is concerned for Dota 2. My name is Vivek. I'm from AT Gaming. I'm at facebook.com/VivekCasting, but you probably don't care at this point. Anyway, do not go anywhere. We have a little bit more of CS and Dota action coming to you same time, same place. See you tomorrow.
Well, everybody, it's been a Malaysian day so far, indeed. Genesis has taken this game away from Onkar Pasol, Urankar and Gang and established their dominance in the Master League so far. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of today's live stream. We will be back again soon with some more intense matches. But for today, that's all we have. This is the ESL India Premiership 2017, brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX and Zawi by BenQ. I'm your host, Wagish Godslebhan, and I'm signing off for today.